Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. Your safe space where we explore the quiet stories that often hide behind bright stage lights and flawless performances. Behind the glittering stage and the gleaming camera, there is a story that until now could only be read through folded eyes, subtle glances, small gestures, and moments captured accidentally, ones that most people might miss unless they truly feel. But that day something happened. Something that shifted the very axis of the fandom's universe. Jimin, the one who always carries himself with gentle grace, who chooses his words with care and precision, finally broke the silence. And what he said, what he revealed, made the hearts of millions of fans all around the world tremble, skip a beat, and for some, completely shatter. Because in those quiet words, there was a storm of truth, vulnerability, and years of hidden emotions. It all started with an exclusive interview that no one saw coming. Jimin sat quietly in front of the camera, his lips tugging into a soft smile, but his eyes told a different story, a deeper one. "I've kept it to myself for a long time," he began, voice low and a little shaky. "But I think the time is right." Just that one sentence was enough. Enough to make army freeze. Enough to make hearts pound with both fear and hope. And then, with each breath, with each carefully chosen word, the veils of ambiguity began to lift. Jimin spoke of his bond with Jungkook not just as a teammate, not just as a member of the same group, and not even just as a best friend, but as someone who has been a constant in his life. Someone who has shaped his emotions, comforted his silence, and understood his soul in ways no one else could. "We understand each other better than anyone else," he said, his voice trembling but firm. "Even when the world doesn't know, we know we're there for each other." He didn't cry, but he didn't need to. The weight of his confession was loud enough. The fandom's reaction? Explosive, emotional, divided, unforgettable. In just minutes, hashtags trended globally. Hashtag Jikook is real, hashtag Jimin speaks up, hashtag Jikook confession, and hashtag protect Jimin. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Weverse, every platform turned into a battlefield of feelings. Some fans were overjoyed, feeling validated. Others were scared because honesty, while beautiful, also invites chaos. And in the middle of all that chaos, Jungkook remained silent. Or so we thought, because only hours later, Jungkook suddenly went live. He looked calm, but his eyes were distant, tired. He faced the camera with a mix of nervousness and restraint. "I know you all saw what Jimin said," he began. "But not everything is as it seems. Some things are too complicated to explain." And just like that, the world was torn again. What did he mean? Was he denying everything? Was he protecting something or someone? Was there a rift we didn't know about? Or was he just trying to keep the last pieces of their sacred connection hidden from a world that always wants answers, always wants labels? There was a pause, a heartbreaking, deafening pause between their words, a space where truth and uncertainty collided. And that's what made ARMY panic. Was this a break in their bond? Did they grow apart? Was Jimin speaking from a place of longing while Jungkook was pulling away? Or were they simply two people caught between their truth and the crushing weight of public expectation? Speculation ran wild. Some believed Jimin was exhausted, that he had carried this truth alone for too long. Others felt Jungkook, in his silence, was only trying to protect what little privacy they had left. Fans dug deep, pulling out old clips of their hugs backstage, shared glances during interviews, those late-night lives that felt too intimate to be coincidence. And in that sea of theories, one truth floated to the surface. Jimin and Jungkook share something real, something not born out of fantasy, but of shared years, silent battles, quiet support, and unspoken understanding. Something that may not fit into the molds the world wants. Something deeper than friendship, yet impossible to define with mere words. Some armies cried, some stayed quiet, some defended, others speculated. But amid it all, many chose to do the bravest thing. Respect. Respect their truth. Respect their silence. Respect their love, however it exists, whatever form it takes. Because at the end of the day, Jimin and Jungkook are human. Human beings who laugh, hurt, love, and feel all while the world watches. And no matter how close we feel to them, there are pieces of their story we may never be allowed to see. And maybe that's okay. Jimin's voice has opened a new chapter in the Jikook narrative, one that's no longer confined to fan fiction, theory threads, or cryptic edits. This was real. This was raw. And now the world waits. Will Jungkook share his side? Will he open his heart in his own time, in his own way? Or will this truth remain unspoken, safely tucked between their shared memories and private moments? We don't know. But one thing is certain. Where there is silence, there is still love. A love that doesn't need to be shouted from rooftops to be real. A love that, even when hidden, still beats fiercely between two hearts that chose each other in ways only they can understand. Until then, ARMY wait. Not just for answers, but for healing, for peace, and maybe someday for the rest of the story. And so, as the world continues to spin and the noise of speculation grows louder, we here at Jikook Diaries choose to listen to the quiet between the words, the silence that often says more than any statement ever could. Whatever happens next, we stand not just as fans, but as witnesses to a bond that has weathered time, pressure, fame, and fear. Jimin has spoken, Jungkook has responded, and the rest belongs to them. Thank you for being here with us, feeling, crying, wondering. If this moment has shown us anything, it's that love, in its purest form, doesn't need confirmation. It just needs understanding. So until the next heartbeat, the next whisper, the next gaze that tells 1,000 stories, stay kind, stay open-hearted, and as always, keep believing in the magic that lives between the lines. This has been Jikook Diaries, where stories are not just told, but felt. See you in the next videos. Purple Heart.